Let's jump right back in, shall we? Welcome back to the Explainer. Since we've already knocked out the basics in the intro, today we're jumping straight into the lifecycle management of eCTD 4.0. If you're in regulatory ops, you know a submission isn't static. It breathes, it grows, it changes. So we're going to trace exactly how your content evolves over time, from the second it's introduced all the way to its eventual conclusion. To do that, we've got a quick roadmap. We'll start with the context of use, then walk through new operations, replacing and reusing documents, and finally, we'll wrap things up with deletion and withdrawal. All right, Section 1, the context of use. Let's dive right into this massive paradigm shift in v4.0. Seriously, if you only remember one thing from today, let it be this definition. A context of use, or COU, simply means a document placed at a specific CTD location to do a very specific job. In older versions, we used to tangle the file and its location all up together. Well, not anymore. In v4.0, lifecycle operations act on the context of use, not the raw PDF file itself. It's a total game changer. To really lock this in, think of the document itself as an immutable, physical book. Once it's published, the text inside doesn't change, right? The context of use, though, is the specific shelf and the reference job that book has in your regulatory library. You can move the book around or even put copies on multiple shelves without ever altering the physical book itself. This means one single PDF document can map to several independent contexts of use. Say you have a core document. It could serve as a summary in Module 2 and simultaneously act as a detailed report over in Module 5. Each context of use has its own independent status, so one location could be perfectly active while the other is later replaced or withdrawn. Moving right along to Section 2, the new operation. Let's look at the first stage of our document's journey. When you're submitting content that hasn't been in the application before, you just follow 4 practical steps. Step 1, prepare your file. Step 2, assign its exact CTD location. Step 3, set your metadata. And step 4, validate. Just keep in mind, new here means a completely new context of use. You're giving a document a job it hasn't done before in this app, so there's no prior reference being superseded. But hey, content rarely stays perfect forever. Which brings us to Section 3, replacing and updating documents. What exactly happens when that content needs a fix or an update down the line? Well, you've got the replace operation, which is absolutely the workhorse of your lifecycle. You aren't just quietly editing a file in the background. You'll use replace or its close sibling, the append operation, for all sorts of things, correcting errors, updating with newer clinical data, responding to authority questions, or aligning with changes. The key is, you keep the same purpose and the same CTD location, but you move the version forward. Think about how this builds a history over time. In Unit 1, version 1 is submitted as new. Then, in Unit 2, version 2 replaces version 1. And maybe later in Unit 5, version 3 replaces version 2. The critical detail? Older versions are never destroyed. They're just safely superseded by newer ones in the chain. This lets reviewers perfectly trace how the content evolved. But here is a critical question for your day-to-day workflow. What happens if you accidentally break this reference chain and forget to point to the prior context of use? Imagine your team is scrambling to submit a revised study report and they just forget to link it. Well, it's not good. You will immediately trigger a validation error and end up creating an orphaned or duplicated document. If you don't point to the predecessor, the system literally thinks you're just dropping a random, brand new file into the dossier. Never, ever break the chain just to try and tidy up your active view. Okay, so let's say we realize this great document can be used somewhere else. That brings us to Section 4, reusing documents. Let's talk about disciplined reuse. Pointing multiple contexts of use to the exact same file has massive workflow benefits. It builds consistency, giving you a single source of truth. It boosts efficiency because there's way less duplication. Reviewers get clarity by seeing the exact same file everywhere, and your ops team maintains integrity, meaning fewer divergent versions to reconcile. It's a win-win all around. But you knew there was a but coming, right? The ripple effect of updating shared files is very real. If you replace a shared document to fix a typo, you have to stop and ask yourself, does every single context of use actually need to move to this new version? If the answer is no, then they were not truly serving the exact same purpose. You've got to handle them separately. If you carelessly update a shared file, you might accidentally alter a context of use that was supposed to stay untouched. This is exactly why maintaining a robust reuse register in your ops team is absolutely crucial. Visibility is everything.
And finally, we reach the end of the line. Section 5, Deletion and Withdrawal. What do we do when a piece of content is simply no longer needed?
There is a really dangerous misconception out there that deleting or withdrawing a file erases it and wipes the history. The reality, it only removes the context of use from your active view. You are not erasing the file from existence. You're just recording an operation that tells the regulator, hey, this content shouldn't be relied on in the current dossier. The prior content stays fully reconstructible for any inspector who needs to see it. Remember, never destroy regulated history, because every single operation we talked about today, new, replace, append, or delete, builds a reconstructible time machine for regulators. Every version and every reference has to be there so the application can be replayed from start to finish. So, I'll leave you with this to ponder. Are your team's daily submission practices preserving the past, or are you accidentally trying to erase it?